into some trouble and stuff. So maybe it was just like a lesson she wanted me to learn. Anyway, yeah, today's story time was about the time I got sent to summer school and got expelled on my very first day in 8th grade. So today's story time did not start like any normal day for me. I woke up at 8:30 in the morning on a summer day because I had summer school, and trust me, I was upset. I was so pissed off. Like, I didn't want to talk to my mom. I was so mad she was sending me to summer school. So I got dressed, the bus came, picked me up, and I walked into summer school just real angry, real upset because it's fucking 80 degrees outside. There's no AC at the school. I'm sweating. And I go to my first class. I sit down, and it's all assigned seats, so I couldn't even pick where I wanted to sit. I was next to this dude. Let's just call this guy Anthony, okay? I got sat next to this guy named Anthony. And Anthony seemed like a cool dude. He looked at me as soon as I sat down, and he's like, yo, what's up, man? I'm like, what's up? He's like, I hate this fucking place. I was like, yeah, tell me about it. He's like, why are we even in summer school? It's middle school. Like, what the fuck? I was like, I don't know, man. He's like, what's your name? I'm like, my name's Austin. He's like, nice to meet you, Austin. My name's Anthony, but you're not going to know me for very long. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I'm getting kicked out of here day one, man. Like, I'm not staying here. I'm not going to fucking summer school. I'm enjoying the 2 months that I have off from this hellhole. I'm not going to be here all summer. I was like, what's your plan? He's like, you want to see? Follow me. And he gets up and he asks the teacher to go to the bathroom. So I follow him. I ask the teacher as well if I can go to the bathroom. The teacher lets us both go. We go to the bathroom together, and he shows me in his backpack what he has in there. And it's a giant confetti bomb. It's one of those things where you like pull something and it just blows up confetti everywhere. And I was like, what are you going to do with that? He's like, I don't know yet. Like, maybe you can help me. I'm thinking we either put it in this bathroom or we put it in the principal's office. And I'm like, all right, hold on, man. Like, don't include me in this right away. Like, if I get kicked out of here, I'm pretty sure my parents will put me up for adoption, so I don't know if I can do that. And he's like, oh, come on, man. Like, don't be a pussy. I was like, listen, dude, I don't know what my parents would do if I actually got kicked out of here day one. Like, I'd probably not have a summer at all. I'd probably be locked in my house all summer with just absolutely nothing to do. He's like, okay, fine. You're not involved at all. This is not you. This is all me. But if you were me, if you were in my shoes and you're about to pull a prank right now, what would you do? Would you put this in the bathroom or would you put it in the principal's office? I was like, listen, dude, if you're going to go that route and you're about to pull a huge prank, you got to fucking go 100%, man. You got to put that shit in the principal's office. And he's like, bet. I knew you were like me. I was like, good luck, dude. And I walk out of the bathroom and I go back to class. And I'm thinking to myself, was that really some advice I should have given him? Like, now I kind of am involved. And then I go in my classroom and I'm just sitting in first period. And Mr. Anthony doesn't come back. He's gone the whole rest of the first period. And my teacher was asking me, like, where'd Anthony go? I was like, I don't know where he went. Now I knew where he was. He was going up to the principal's office to pull that prank. So I was kind of worried at this point because now it kind of looks like I'm in on it. Like, me and him went to the bathroom, gave him that advice. He never came back to class. I did. So I'm kind of worried. So I get done with first period. I go to my second period class. And 5 minutes into it, an announcement comes on. And it says, Austin to the principal's office, please. And I get up, I walk out of the room, I go upstairs to the principal's office, and I walk into the principal's office, and I shit you not, there is confetti everywhere. All over the desk, all over the chairs, all over every single thing in this room, just covered in confetti. And I see Anthony sitting there with a smile on his face, and I see the principal sitting there with a very angry red face, and he's pissed. And he goes, Austin, do you know why I called you up here today? And I was like, I'm assuming it has something to do with all of the confetti all over your room right now. And he goes, bingo. I think you have something to do with that. You and your buddy Anthony here. You guys made friends pretty quickly, didn't you? And I was like, honestly, sir, I had nothing to do with this. He goes, oh, I'm going to find out. And also, you and Anthony went to the bathroom together on the cameras. And when I went down there, the bathroom was flooded. So I think you guys had something to do with that too. And I was like, I honestly didn't. And I'm thinking to myself, who the fuck flooded the bathroom? So my principal tells me to wait there while he goes and gets someone to help him clean up his office and to just sit there and wait with Anthony. So I sit in the chair next to Anthony's. My principal walks out of the room. And I look at Anthony and I'm like, yo, what the fuck happened to the bathroom? Did you flood it? He's like, yeah, man, I wanted to make sure I get expelled. So I flooded the bathroom and confetti bombed the principal. I'm like, dude, I was in the bathroom with you right before you did it. It's going to look like we flooded it. He's like, yeah, man, I know. I wasn't really thinking. I'm sorry. Like, I'm going to tell him that you had nothing to do with it. Don't worry. I'm like, homie, on the cameras, we walk in there, and then I walk out, and you walk out, and you go upstairs and confetti bomb the principal, and the bathroom's flooded. He's going to blame me for flooding the bathroom with you. He goes, don't worry, man, I got this. So 5 minutes later, the principal walks back in the room with the janitor, and the janitor starts sweeping up the confetti. And the principal goes, Alright, so here's the deal. You both are getting kicked out of this school. If you want to go to summer school still, you'll have to go somewhere else. And I'm pretty sure there's no other participating schools in the area. So you're pretty much screwed for the rest of the summer. And I'm telling your parents right now. And I was like, sir, I didn't do any of this. Like, I swear. And then Anthony speaks up. And he's like, yes, sir. Like, Austin did not do any of this. Like, the confetti stuff was all me. The flooding was all me. I told him about it. I asked him to do it with me. And he said no. So, like, this really is not his fault. And he goes, I don't believe you, but even if that was true, that would mean that you knew Austin and you didn't tell me about it. And I was like, yeah, sorry, I just didn't know what to do. He goes, well, I don't believe you anyway, so you're still expelled. I'm like, okay, fine. So he calls up both our parents. Our parents come down to pick us up, and they were both very, very, very pissed off. And when me and my mom got in the car, I told her the whole story from start to finish. And at first she didn't believe me, but after telling it a few times and Anthony vouching for me on the phone, I got his number, she finally believed me, and I was able to go about my summer after that, not being grounded. So that was cool. It was kind of a win, to be honest. I didn't have to go to summer school, and I still got my summer. So honestly, the situation kind of worked out in my favor. Now, it could have gone a million different directions that were not in my favor. So I'm just very, very, very fucking lucky that it went the way it did. But Anthony, on the other hand, didn't have such a good summer. His dad proceeded to ground him for 3 months straight. I can't lie, I never talked to Anthony again after this because I'm pretty sure his phone got taken away. And I wasn't even that close with him, so after everything was done, we just never really spoke again because we didn't go to the same school besides that one summer school. So yeah, guys, moral of this story is just don't get involved with any situation like that ever. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. If you did, please leave a like on the video. I really appreciate it. Also, after this video goes up, within the first couple hours, I'm going to be live on Twitch. So I'm going to leave that in the description if you want to come check that out and hang out for a little bit. But anyway, guys, that's the end of today's story time. Hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to leave your story times in the comments down below. And subscribe if you're new. I'll see you all later. Peace. What's good, guys? It's Austin here, or Luna. So today's story time, in my opinion, is a pretty crazy one. It involves the SWAT team. Now you're probably like, Austin, did you get swatted again, buddy? Did the SWAT team come and break down your door? Well, not necessarily. In my opinion, this was kind of scarier than when I got swatted. Well, maybe not scarier, but definitely on the same level of scary, if that makes sense. So let's just jump right into today's story time. Leave a like on the video if you enjoy it. Let's jump right into it. So today's story time takes place when I was 12 years old. Yes, 12 years old. Very young Luna. Now at this point, I was doing YouTube, but it was not on this channel. It was on my old channel still, and I had like no subscribers. So, you know, not really a YouTuber yet at that point. And I was just kind of doing my thing, you know. I was a young kid, and all I did back then was play a shit ton of Call of Duty and eat junk food and hang out with my friends as much as possible. Life was very simple back then, and this all started off as a simple day for 12-year-old Luna. I woke up, got up out of bed. My best friend at the time, let's just call his friend Dylan, called my house, and I answer the phone. I'm like, hello? And he's like, hey, Austin. I was like, what's up, Dylan? How you doing? He's like, good. You want to come sleep over today? And I was like, yeah, for sure. Now, it was a Saturday morning, and I was stoked. I still had the weekend going, you know. I didn't have school yet, so I was having a good day. So I go, I asked my mom if I could stay at Dylan's house for the night, and she's like, yeah, of course. When do you want to go over there? I was like, maybe in like an hour. She's like, okay, cool. So I go, I get all my things packed, I shower, I get ready for going to my friend's house, and then fast forward an hour later, I go to Dylan's house, and I show up. And the cool thing about Dylan's house is he was an only child, and his dad was the only one that lived there, and his dad was always out for work or whatever. So me and Dylan would just kind of kick it at his house, and we could do pretty much whatever we wanted. We could be as loud as we wanted, and it was always a fun time. But the thing about Dylan's dad is he never told me what he did. Like, Dylan's dad would never be specific about what he did for a job, and Dylan would never tell me. And, you know, I didn't really care. You know, I was like, all right, whatever. Even if his dad's doing some illegal shit, like, it's none of my business. I'm not going to bother prying for answers because I'm a 12-year-old and it doesn't concern me. Now, looking back at it, having that mindset probably wasn't the best idea. I probably should have asked a couple more questions and got more knowledge on the situation because it could have saved me from this entire story time happening. But anyway, I got to Dylan's house. It all started off as a normal hanging out session with him, just playing Call of Duty. And I asked him, I'm like, yo, when's your dad going to be home? He's like, oh, he's not going to be home till tomorrow morning, probably like 6 a.m. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, he's good with me being here? He's like, yeah, I texted him. He said it's fine. I was like, all right, cool. Now, it was about 2:30 p.m., okay? It was like mid-afternoon, just normal day as usual. And then Dylan hands me the controller to his Xbox, and he's like, yo, take over for a little bit. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go make some food. You want anything? I was like, no, I'm good, man. Thank you. He's like, all right, let me know if you change your mind. And Dylan walks away into the kitchen. Now he's in there doing whatever he's doing, working on food, and I'm playing some COD, just enjoying my afternoon, my nice sunny Saturday afternoon, right? And then all of a sudden, like 5 minutes later, after Dylan goes in the kitchen, he runs back into the living room and like stops, and he doesn't even come to a full stop. He like slides because he's wearing socks on his wood floor, and he almost slides into the TV because he was running so fast. And he's like, yo, Austin, turn that Xbox off. We gotta go right now. I was like, what's going on? Are you okay? He's like, no, we gotta go right now, like right fucking now. And he turns the Xbox off, grabs the controller out of my hand, and pulls me off the couch by my shirt. I'm like, dude, relax, what's going on? He's like, come on, there's no fucking time for talking. And he runs all the way to the front door with me. And he looks out the front door, he goes, fuck, we can't go out this way, come on. And then he makes me run with him all the way to the bathroom, and he opens up this tiny bathroom window and starts crawling out of it. And I'm like, Dylan, what's going on, dude? Like, what's happening? He's like, Austin, man, I promise I will explain it when we're out of here. We gotta go right now, though. And the way he was acting was terrifying me. I thought there was, like, someone at the front door to fucking, like, kidnap us or something. So I jump out this window with him. He crawled out first, I crawled out after, and then jumped down. And we both start running as fast as we can all the way through this neighbor's yard. We then ran through another neighbor's yard, and then we crossed the street. And we just basically cut through yards until we were pretty far away. And after we got pretty far away, I'm like catching my breath, and I'm like, Dylan, what the fuck was that? He's like, dude, follow me. And we slowly go back towards his house, but this time we're across the street, pretty far away, in a neighbor's yard. And I can see from across the street just a shit ton of SWAT team members and police officers on his front porch, like taking cover, and one of them's yelling something, and then the next thing I know, he kicks in Dylan's front door, and they all just storm in there. And I'm like, Dylan, what the fuck is happening over there? He's like, listen, dude, my dad, he sells weed. Now, I say that now, and you're probably thinking, like, Austin, he was just a weed dealer and the SWAT team was raiding him like that. Well, when I was 12 years old, living in the state of New York, marijuana was treated a little bit differently, especially large quantities of it, like, you know, Dylan's dad must have had. Since then, a lot of time has gone by, and things have changed in the legal system. But, yeah, they stormed Dylan's house because Dylan's dad was a weed dealer. So after he tells me this, I'm like, dude, why didn't you just tell me this before? He's like, I don't know, I didn't want you to stop being my friend over it. I was like, homie, I don't care about what your dad's doing. I just would have liked to known that the SWAT team was about to bust down your door, because I thought we were about to get kidnapped or some shit. He's like, nah, man, but we had to get out of there. Like, I didn't want to be there for that. And I'm like, wait a minute, how'd you know we were coming? He's like, dude, I was in the kitchen making cereal, and I looked out the window because I heard something, and I saw them all coming down my street. And I was like, fuck, man, like, good ear, I guess. He's like, yeah. I was like, so what do we do? He's like, just give me a minute. And he opens his phone and he calls his dad and proceeds to tell his dad that their house is being raided and he doesn't know what to do. So his dad goes, okay, hold on, wait right there. And his dad comes home 5 minutes later. I don't know where he was. He must have been staying with a friend or something, 5 minutes away. He came back 5 minutes later, walked in the house while they were in there raiding it, and they walked him out in handcuffs like 2 minutes later. He basically just went in there and got arrested and told them where everything was, just so that the situation could be over quicker, so that Dylan and me could go back home. But sadly, it wasn't that simple. Since Dylan's dad got arrested, we couldn't be there without a parent or guardian there, so Dylan and me had to go to his aunt's house and stay with her for the rest of the night. But yeah, the rest of that night, Dylan was just like super depressed and sad, and I don't blame him. I mean, his dad just got arrested, and it was just a sad night. So a few days went by after that, and I didn't really hear anything, and then Dylan called me on like Tuesday, and was like, yo, dude, my dad's out on bail. I'm like, shit, really? He's like, yeah. I was like, that's awesome, man. Like, I'm glad to hear that. And fast forward a long time later, his dad had to pay a bunch of fines and shit, but he didn't get a bunch of serious jail time like I thought he might have. So that's really good that Dylan's dad was all good. And luckily for Dylan's dad, like a month after this happened, he got a job with his friend at a construction site. He started making pretty good money off that, and it was completely legal, so that was good. Didn't have to worry about getting arrested anymore. But yeah, needless to say, that was a insane, crazy time, and it was just wild. Funniest part about this story time is it's not the only time one of my friends' dads got arrested for selling weed. I had two friends, and both of their dads sold weed at some point, and they both got arrested. And I think I've told a story about the other one before. Maybe I haven't. Maybe that one's next. We'll see. But yeah, this was definitely the crazier one, so I had to share this one with you guys. I hope you enjoyed this story time. If If you did, please leave a like on the video. I would really appreciate it. And feel free to leave your story times in the comments down below. And yeah, if you're new here, feel free to subscribe. I upload almost every day. I try. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I'll see you guys all in the next video. Have a good day. Peace out. Alright, so hopefully this is the last video like this I'll ever have to make. So today's story time is about the infamous TikTok girl. If you don't know who that is, well then, you must be new here. I'll link all those videos in the description if you want to catch up. But basically, there's this girl who doesn't like me very much, and she will do everything in her power to try to ruin my life. So today's story time is probably one of the last ones I'll tell about this situation, because I don't think it will go any farther. So today's story time all takes place today. I wake up in the morning. It was like 9 a.m. or something, pretty early for Luna standards. I get up out of bed, I take a shower, I get ready for my day. And, you know, felt like a good day. Sun was shining, weather was nice. I was just, you know, feeling real optimistic about the day. So I go downstairs and make some breakfast. I grab some cereal out the cabinet, grab some milk, and what do you know? My milk's fucking expired. So I jump in the car, go to the store to then buy some more milk. I go and grab the milk, I buy it, and I'm walking out of the store back to my car. And all of a sudden, I hear, Austin. And I turn around, and it's none other than her. The infamous new TikTok girl, standing there staring at me, looking very not pleased. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing here? And she goes, I just want to talk to you outside of your house for once. And I was like, did you follow me here? And she didn't answer. And I was like, answer. Did you follow me here? And she just would not say yes or no, because she knows, and I know, that she fucking followed me. She waited outside my house, and she followed me to the store, like a stalker, to try and, you know, talk to me or whatever. So I'm like, what do you want? And she goes, I just want to have one final conversation about your videos and what to do about them. And I was like, there's nothing that's going to be done about them. I'm out of here. See ya. And I turn around and I get in my car and I start trying to leave, right? And she runs over and puts her hand into the door, stopping me from shutting it. And like, at this point, I'm just dumbfounded. I'm like, this girl is absolutely crazy. Like, she will do anything to stop me from living my life. So I was like, what are you doing? Get your hand out from the door. And she goes, no, not until you hear me out. I was like, dude, you fucking stalked me to the grocery store. You followed me like a weirdo. I'm leaving. Now please move your hand so I can go. And she goes, no, I'm not moving. And at this point, I kind of call her bluff. I'm like, listen, I'm going to shut the door in 5 seconds. And whether your hand's there or not, it's getting shut. Now listen, that was a little bit rude of me to say, I will admit. But I was 150% not telling the truth. I was not going to shut the door on her hand. I was just saying that so she would move it, so I could close my door and then leave. And I was like, okay, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And like, as I got to 1, she moved it. Thank fuck, because I wasn't going to actually do that. And as soon as her hand moved, I shut the door super fast just so she couldn't put it back there to stop it. And I got the door closed, and I was relieved. I was like, all right, good. Like, I can leave and go home. Even though she'll probably follow me, at least I can go home. So right as I'm about to leave after I start the car, I roll the window down, and I look at her, and she looks at me, and I was like, listen, can we just please go on with our lives in separate ways? And she goes, not until you listen to what I have to say. I was like, what do you have to say? Say it now. I'll listen real quick. And she goes, I want your storytime videos taken down about me, and if you don't do it, I'm going to sue you. I was like, sue me for what? What case are you about to present to that judge? Like, hey, Mr. Judge, this man right here made a YouTube gaming commentary video, and he told a very vague story time that doesn't say my name in it or anything personal about me. And she goes, I don't know what I'm going to say, but either way, I'll sue you. I have friends. And before she could finish, I just interrupted her. I was like, yeah, you have friends. You have friends in all these different areas, but either way, nothing's happened yet because you're lying. And she just gets so mad. Like, I saw her face literally turn red. She looked so pissed off. And I got kind of nervous. I'm like, oh, shit, what's about to happen? And she, like, hesitates for a second. And she goes, that's it. And she winds her fist back. And I start rolling my window up because I just know what's about to happen. And my window wasn't fast enough. She swings at me. I had to, like, matrix recline my car seat and dodge her punch. I'm surprised it even worked. So after that, I got the window rolled up and I locked all my doors. And an employee from the store saw this happen and he ran over and, like, broke it up. He, like, got in between her and my car and was like, "What's going on?" And I roll the window down, and I'm like, "Listen, man, this girl just tried to attack me. I'm just trying to go home and live my life. Like, I don't want this happening." And he goes, "You want me to call the police?" I was like, "Honestly, man, it's up to you." And he's like, "I'm going to call them." So the cops were actually on site at this store. They paid them to patrol the parking lot. So they were right there immediately. They came up to the car like 5 minutes later. And he walks up, and I roll my window down. And he's like, "What's going on?" I was like, "Well, that girl over there, standing over there talking to the employee, tried to punch me, and I dodged it luckily and didn't get hurt, but yeah, she's a little crazy." And I basically told him the whole story from start to finish. Then he went and talked to her, came back, told me that the stories match up and that I was right, and then he proceeds to ask me what I want to do. And I was like, "Dude, honestly, just please go tell her to never talk to me again, never come near my house again, like just leave me alone forever basically, or else she's gonna get a fucking restraining order or arrested." And he was like, "Yeah, I got you." And he went and told her that. And she came back up to my car a few minutes later with the police officer. I rolled the window down again. And she's like, "I'm sorry, Austin. I won't bother you ever again." I was like, "Yeah, thank you." She goes, "Yeah, for sure. Have a good day." I'm like, "Yeah, you too." And the cop escorted her back to her car, and they drove off. Everyone left, and I was left alone in peace to go back to my house and think about the fucking absolute insanity that just took place not even like 2 hours after I woke up. So I go home after that. I look around my driveway and my yard to make sure she's not hiding somewhere, because at this point, I actually have to do that. I go inside, I sit down, and I get on my computer, and I hop on Discord, and I start talking to one of my friends, and I was like, "Yo, dude, you're never gonna believe what just happened." He's like, What happened?" And I just told him the entire story of what happened, and he's like, "Bro, you gotta make a YouTube video about it." I was like, "Do I?" He's like, "Dude, fucking no-brainer, you gotta make a video about it." So now I sit here making this YouTube video, and I'm kind of just confused, because I really just never know with this girl, you know what I mean? Like, every time I'm thinking like, "Oh, it can't get any worse than this," and then it gets worse. But I really don't think from this point forward it can get any worse or go any farther. Like, it has to end here. Like, the fucking cops got involved. At that point, I just can't see it going any farther. But regardless, you guys know me. I'll keep you updated on the whole situation. But yeah, guys, moral of this story is do not act like the new TikTok girl. Don't stalk people. Don't hide outside their house and follow them places, because that's what we call fucking creepy, terrifying, and stalker-like. Can't be doing that. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like on the video. I would really appreciate it. Also, I've been getting a lot of comments recently being like, "Austin, dude, where the fuck's the new music at, man? Like, you've been saying soon for too long." So here's what I think I'm going to do. I've been trying to finish this project for the longest time. And I decided, you know what? It's taking too long. It's not done yet. So I think I'm going to drop like an EP. Probably either at the end of this month or like super early September. But you guys will have a new song first before those other songs come out. So yeah, expect a new song before this month ends. I'll put a snippet of that before the video's over. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this story time. Feel free to leave any story times you guys have down in the comments below. I always love reading those. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys all in the next video, probably tomorrow. Thank you for all your support. Hope you guys have a good rest of your night. I'll see you all later. Peace out.
Even the night you be wanting to fight. When I pull up, you see it's like, oh shit. Cut all these ties cause they plan my demise. They all stakes and I think it's been showing. I got some issues they haunt.
Alright, so this new TikTok girl has definitely lost her mind beyond belief. I didn't know if I'd be able to make another one of these story times, but I guess I am. Hope you guys enjoy this. Let's just jump into it. So if you're not caught up to speed on this whole thing, I'll leave a link to a playlist below of all the TikTok girl story times. But basically there's this girl, this new girl, that's been very, very eager to stop me from making any kind of YouTube storytime videos regarding anything to do with her. And even though she keeps coming around and doing crazy shit that's very, very video worthy. So today's another one, I guess. So this morning I wake up like any other normal day, you know, very late in the day. It was definitely past noon. And I'm sitting in my bed scrolling on my phone, just going through Twitter, checking my social medias and shit. And I get an email on my business email from a random email address that was like clearly just made. It was like along the lines of, you know, random letters and random numbers and shit. And it says, "Hey Austin, it's me." And she says her name, and I immediately know who it is. And she's like, "You know, that new TikTok girl you keep making videos about? Yeah, this email is about those videos. I'd like to meet in person and have a talk with you about those videos and have a civil discussion this time. Not any threatening, nothing like that. Just a civil discussion." Now, based on this girl's, history the last couple times, she's not very civil. So I ignored it, naturally, and I went on with my day because I didn't trust her. Her idea of a civil discussion is probably taking me into a van and driving me out in the middle of nowhere and then chopping off my arms and legs. That's probably what her idea of a civil discussion is. So yeah, I ignored her, naturally. So anyway, after I ignored this email, I go on with my day thinking that, that would be the extent of the craziness. And then later on in the day, about, a few hours ago, I went out to go do some shopping because I needed some clothes, needed some food as well. So I went out, got some clothes from the mall, got some groceries at the grocery store. And when I got back to my house, as I got out of my car, I looked around real quick because this girl knows where I live. So I had to make sure she wasn't just, camping out in my driveway or something waiting for me. So, I took a quick look around. I didn't see anything. I'm like, okay, good, she's not here. I go inside and I start unloading my things and, just getting ready to just kind of relax the rest of the night. And then 30 minutes after I get home, of course, I get a knock on my front fucking door, as usual. And I go downstairs, and I see her standing there. And this isn't like the other times. Usually I get a knock on my front door, and I know it's going to be problems, but I still open it. This time, I looked at her right through my door, like she could see me through the glass. And I just laughed and turned around and walked away. I was not dealing with this shit today. Not today. Like, just done with this shit. And she was mad. I could hear her yelling through the door, "Austin, come back! Come back!" And I ignored her, and I went back upstairs to just chill out in my room. And I shit you not, this girl stood at my door, continuing to knock for like 30 minutes straight. And it got to a point where I really only had two choices. I could either open the door and deal with her bullshit, or ignore her until she finally goes away, which could take, at this point, hours, because she was not giving up. She was persistent as fuck. So, I just decided, okay, she can't go that much longer. Like, maybe 20 more minutes at most, but she'll have to leave at some point. So I wait, and another 30 minutes goes by, and she's still knocking. It gets to a point where my neighbor calls me on my phone, and is like, "Austin, there is someone at your door who will not leave. Do you want me to call the police?" Now, I really didn't want to call the cops, just because I didn't want it to be escalated into this huge ordeal, but at the same time, I don't know what other option I have. So I tell her, okay, listen, I'm going to talk to her real quick. Don't worry about calling the police. If I need to, I will, okay? And she's like, "Yeah, no problem. Like, I was just checking in, making sure you were okay." I'm like, "Yeah, thank you." So I hang up with my neighbor. I go downstairs, and I open the door, and this fucking girl is standing there staring at me with a dirty look. And she goes, "Do you know how long I've been knocking?" I was like, "Yeah, like a fucking hour. Do you give up?" And she's like, "No, I don't. I need to talk to you, Austin." I'm like, "I don't have anything to talk about. Like, what do you want?" And she goes, "I want you to stop making videos about my friend, about me. Like, just stop." And I was like, "Yeah, and I want you to leave me the fuck alone. Don't you realize that if you do that, there won't be any more videos? If you leave me alone, there will never be another video again. But if you keep showing up to my door and making all this storytime worthy content for me, I'm gonna have to keep making videos about it. Like, it's hard not to." And she was like, "I don't want that." I was like, "Yeah, me neither. So please, turn around, get in your car, fuck off for eternity, and you'll never have to worry about me again." And she goes, "Well, I want the other ones deleted too." I was like, "That's not happening." She goes, "Oh yeah? What if I offer you something?" I was like, "No, I'm not taking anything from you. Like, just go." And she's like, "Are you sure?" And she opens up her purse and pulls out like a wad of money. It must have been, like, no joke, like a few $1,000s or something. And she hands it to me, and she goes, "There, take that. Delete the videos for it." And I was like, "Are you really trying to bribe me right now?" And she goes, "Yeah, did it work?" I'm like, "No." And I hand the money back to her, and she gets pissed. She's like, "Austin, I'm done fucking around. Like, can you please just level with me here?" I'm like, "I told you, if you just leave and never come back, I'll never make another video. I promise." And she goes, "You promise?" I was like, "Yeah." And she goes, "No, I want those other videos gone too." I'm like, "Well, that's not gonna happen. You should have thought of that before you stalked my life and showed up to my house and followed me in a car. Like, that's kind of just not okay, you know? So here's the deal. You can either leave me alone forever and I'll never make another video, or you can keep messing with me until the point where you get arrested." And she goes, "I've said it before. I have friends in very high places. I won't get arrested." I'm like, "Oh yeah? Call them then. Tell them what you're doing." And she opens up her phone and calls this dude. I don't know who he is. I don't know how she's related to him. But he was a police officer. And yeah, she pulled out her phone and called him and told him everything, word for word, what happened from like the point that she first met me till now. And he tells her, like, "You can't do that. That's stalking. That's wrong. If he calls the police and gets you arrested, I can't help you that much. Like, you need to get out of there right now and leave him alone. That's wrong." And I was just dumbfounded. This girl's whole, like, you know, backup plan of having the cops on her side, like, I just heard one of them literally tell her she's being a stalker. It just completely blew up in her face. And after he says that, she just hangs up on him and goes, "This isn't over." And she turns around, walks away, gets in her car, and drives off. To the point where I am here making this video and just dumbfounded because I just don't know anymore. Like, this girl has reached new fucking lows. Like, it's insane. Like, even her friend that's a police officer told her she was stalking me and needs to stop, and she still said, "This isn't over," and walked away and just made a very dramatic exit. So yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen now. Hopefully nothing else. Hopefully she just takes my advice and goes off to live her life, you know, happily ever after, and never have to deal with her crazy ass again. But for all I know, she might be back tonight, dressed in all black, ready to kidnap me and feed me to a wolf. You know, I just really don't know at this point. But yeah, guys, if I do get fed to a wolf, hopefully I, you know, make it through and I can tell a story time for you guys, because that would be a really crazy story time. Like, I got ate by a wolf? Like, that'd be pretty crazy. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this story time. That's pretty much it. I will keep you guys updated on this new TikTok girl saga, whatever the hell this is. And hopefully there isn't anything else to update on, but I will keep you updated. But anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the story time. If you did, please leave a like on the video. I would really appreciate it. I might be streaming on Twitch tonight, so if you want to check that out, I'll leave that first link in the description as well. And yeah, guys, I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Peace out.
Like, what's up? They leave me out for the dead, and now they know they're fucked. All my texts are unread, that's how I know she's done. My life changed in a flash, all my friends gone.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Guys, you already know that I mean business once I'm in my armor suit. That means we're gonna be using something extremely sketchy and very highly dangerous. Today we're using this is honestly, probably a death trap. We're gonna have a lot of accidents in this thing. This thing is a top fuel drag monster of well over a 4,000 horsepower. This thing is dangerous. It is very fast and way too dangerous for me to use. But today we're gonna be using the dragster versus the cops, so it's gonna be a great day. Guys, before we do jump into it, make sure you do support your boy, smash a like on the video, subscribe if you're new, don't miss out on the next episode. You already know YouTube algorithm is very dependent from the interactions from you guys viewing the video, so make sure you do support your boy, help a brother out, smash that like, let's jump into it and pretty much ruin some officer's day. Okay, so we're in and it's sketchy. This does not seem safe at all. Well, at least it turns. Yep, it turns all right. Oh, here we go. It gets up to speed. Oh, yeah, this is gonna be dangerous. Well, at least this thing turns a little bit. It kind of turns. It's shaking. Look at the shake on this thing. Oh, this thing's quick. Oh, we're hitting 200. Oh, no. All right, here we go. 250. 250. Oh, lost control. I'm probably gonna... Oh, once this thing gets going, sheesh, boys, look at the speed of this thing. We're gonna be able to hit max speed. No, we're not. Oh, big wipe, big wipe. Save it, save it, save it. I just wanted to take this exit. This is my exit.